I don't know, if I was going to do an Annihilator, I would have to put LBXs in them. Like, the potential for hilarity to ensue with a bunch of LBX 5s is just too great. I mean, imagine just unloading a wall of lead. Alright, so Bigfoot's only out for 22 days. That's not the end of the world. Again, we're basically used to our battle armor getting wrecked and then spending a battle or two on the sidelines. Speaking of, we'll go into the refit, and it'll probably cost us somewhere between 20 and 30k to get this back together again, as is typical. So get the battle armor repaired. All of our mechs are good, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, outstanding. And in fact, so here's the other thing that's really fun. Right now, we are slowly approaching the point where we might actually be able to competently handle flashpoints. So for those of you that aren't familiar, and even those of you that are, flashpoints are a series of missions. Typically, you don't want to take on flashpoints until you have at least 2 full lances of mechs and vehicles that you can field consecutively. Now, we're still not quite there yet, but we're getting closer to that point where we have a good, solid lance of mechs in a decent tonnage range with vehicles to support. So now, as we continue to upgrade this lance, our primary lance, we can then start to put money and effort into refitting and rebuilding the mechs that we will eventually use for our second lance, our second team. So that as we find mechs, like for example, if we find another heavy mech and we replace it here in the primary, then we can also have whatever mech gets replaced fall into the secondary lance. So we're not getting to a point where we're starting to get some more tactical and strategic options. And I think it'll be really fun to put some time into flashpoints if we can. And actually start, like, affecting the overworld map, taking worlds for the factions that we like and things like that. Speaking of, since we upped our reputation with Steiner, let's have a look and see. We're not in well enough with them to buy from the store. We're close, but not quite there. But the store is still going to be the same as it was before. It hasn't rolled over yet. But adding 1 million plus to our coffers has gone a long way towards getting us over that hump while we wait. So, we can now wait for the battle armor to be repaired. And then I think we just wait a few days until payday, and then all of the missions and the store should roll over, and then we can see what we have beyond that. So let's do it. Let's give everybody a few days off.
I've got the financial report.
And now it's payday. Again, we're up to about 830k per month in expenses, which, as long as we work hard, that shouldn't be too hard to deal with. And then let's see what we get. So we'll check the store first. Should have rolled over. And it did. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So what do we got? Of course, we've got the Achilles battle armor like we always do. We got a resupply truck. Well, we're not going to be able to afford to buy any mechs. Oh, my. Boys and girls. Boys and girls. A Rommel. If you are familiar with a Rommel, have a look at that weapon system. This is a 65-ton heavy tank with a Gauss rifle and streak medium lasers. Streak medium lasers. Which works the same way as streak missiles. Either they hit or they don't fire. Which means if you're not going to fire, you don't build up the heat. That's outstanding. Of course, it also comes with a few MGs, but it also has a 260 engine, which makes it very, very fast for its weight class. So the Rommel is an outstanding vehicle. And I really, really want to buy it. But it's $750K. So that's a very expensive buy. Let's see what else we have before we buy it, before we consider buying it. Let's see what else is in the shop. We might have something even better. Let's see. We got binary lasers, which would be fun. We have an LBX-2, which is a little bit of an odd duck, but I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. I would buy a laser AMS if we had a little more money to spend. A laser AMS is always a good buy. We got some MML systems, which we don't currently have any of. These could potentially up our direct firepower. Oh my goodness. And a rotary Gauss rifle. It is a Gauss rifle minigun. It's 1.4 million C-bills, though. 1.4 million C-bills for what is effectively a Gauss minigun. Oh, man. I wish we had more money. I wish we had more money, because there's a whole lot of things that I'm suddenly wanting to buy. Let's see, Comm Suite. Is this the thing that lets us call in stuff? Increased resolve gain. No, it doesn't look like it. So you got more contracts. We got an XL engine for sale. 500K for an Intersphere XL. And let's see what the duels are. We got a duo assault, which we're not going to be able to do. We got a solo assault. Also won't be able to do that. But we have a solo light mech duel. A solo light mech duel, and we happen to know that the Disco Inferno, as piloted by Erst, is a very capable machine in the lightweight class. As long as you don't do dumb things like DFA off of 30-story buildings, we have a very good chance of success. So that's very tempting, because depending on the payout, we could make a lot of money very, very quickly on these contracts. Bolo, good to see you. Glad you could join us for this Saturday stream. You just missed us finishing up a successful base destruction mission. Oh, let's see. We got a mask in here, too. Damn, so many nice toys. PPC FCS, which would be outstanding if we had the, and the triple strength. It's hard to say no to triple strength, but that price tag hurts. Let's have a look at our ammos. We got Gauss ammo, we got howitzer ammo. Bees? Bees? What? Swarm missiles. Okay. Bees. Not the bees. So what is the difference between swarm and bees, though? Let's see. Enemy forces with detrimental effects, effectiveness and endurance suppressor ammunition. It does reduce the target's movement and accuracy. Oh, thanks to ECM. So I guess it's like an AoE, but it also does ECM damage. That's actually really cool. And it's only 50K. I mean, fuck it. I'll buy a couple of bins of that.
New equipment.
I don't know if we'll use it right away, but we could definitely use it down the line. And then this is the MRM Apollo ammo. I forget, yeah, you do need the Apollo FCS, so that's unfortunate. We do finally have some piercing ammo. The only problem is we don't have a piercing launcher to put the things in. But yeah, like right away, we got a couple of really big gets here in the vehicle category. You did indeed, Gravelion, and you caught us about 2.5 hours into it, so you haven't missed much. We had ourselves a duel here on Solaris 7, and then we just finished up a base destruction mission, so there's still plenty more stream to go. Again, I felt bad for not being able to stream this week, so I figured I'd give you guys something to look forward to on the weekend. But let's see. In addition to the Rommel, which the Rommel is an outstanding buy on its own. Like, I would drop the money for this immediately. But in addition to that, we also have the Chaparral, which typically, yeah, is an Arrow 4 boat. The duel went well. We won. It was a close one, but we made it. Yeah, you also missed the Heresy. For those of you that are coming to the stream late, I'll introduce you to our Hunchback Heresy here in just a second. But we also have the Chaparral, which is another 750k, but it's an Arrow 4 boat with a lot of ammo. So we could potentially get ourselves another Arrow 4 on the field. We also have the Fulcrum, which, again, not a terribly good vehicle, but it's a hover vehicle. So this could potentially fill in for our galleon that, you know, like, it has the tag, so that fills the hole left by the APC. It also has an LRM-10 and a large laser, which gives it more firepower than the galleon. Because it's a hover tank, it also gives us that massive mobility. So the Fulcrum is a good buy as well. Then, in addition to that, we have the Dakota, which is just a transport gunship. But this air transport for our battle armor could be another good buy as well, especially at only 250k. And Bolo, once again, just getting into the stream and already with the massive generosity gifting a sub to Stuart Burns. Stuart, I know you've been here for a little bit, but welcome. Be sure to thank, looks like you already have thanked Bolo for his gift sub, but welcome to the cult of bad tactical decisions, where we only do the wrong thing and we do it with a smile. But let's see. So obviously money is going to be the main thing. We've got a little less than 2 million C-bills. So before we go on a purchasing spree, let's head to the mech bay and let's see what kind of salvage we can sell. Because if we can get a decent amount of money, I would like to buy the Rommel, and I would also like to buy the air transport for our battle armor. At least for right now. And then obviously there are other things that I would like to buy, but those are the things that I want to prioritize right away. So obviously we're going to sell this. Again, I want to keep the dream alive for the Raven, and we're not going to get a whole lot of money for it anyway. This is another Hollander part, which I don't think we need. We'll go ahead and scrap that. I was keeping it because artillery, but it's fine. We already have an artillery Hollander. We don't have a whole lot of stuff left to sell, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've been hanging on to these Centurion parts in the off chance that we actually get another one that we can put together, because I would like another one. But at the same time, we could sell them. We have the Wolverine parts, we have Dervish parts. I mean, again, I would like a Dervish. We'll sell this Dragon part. We can do that. That'll give us another 350k. And as much as I like the Jaeger mech, how much do we get for that? We get 450k for a Jaeger mech part. We get 400k for a Cataphract part. And so this is my thinking. This is my thinking. And you're probably wondering, hey, wait a minute. You've been salvaging these parts and you've been hanging on to them for so long. Why are you thinking about getting rid of them now? The reason I'm thinking about getting rid of them now is because with the stuff that we have in the shop right this moment, we have the ability to make big tactical and strategic increases to our lance immediately with the money that we get from selling these parts, as opposed to saving the parts and hoping that we find what we need to rebuild the mechs at a later date. So by selling this and spending the money on weapon systems, vehicles, and mechs now, we're actively increasing the competency of our company. Well, that's good, Stuart. It's, to me, again, there's not a lot of fun for me personally in playing games like this, like tactical games, it's not as fun to me to just, again, make the meta decisions every turn, to constantly, like, weigh every single tiny little statistic about everything. Like, to me, that's no fun. I like to get through the missions, I like to blow stuff up, and sometimes I don't make the best decision in the moment. Trust me when I say I've seen plenty of comments on the YouTubes of the folks that come in and say, well, actually, if you had done this and this and this instead of that, and so, yeah, no, I get that. I understand. Quit pushing your glasses up. Like, I get that I did not make the best decision, but that's the friggin' point. So, that's my approach to it, at least. But yeah, I think we will sell some of these parts. Right, exactly. And this is the thing for me, Cosmic, is I'm making the bad decisions because it makes this campaign more fun. Because yes, I could be a sweat lord, and I could make all the best decisions, and I could spend 20 minutes agonizing over every turn before I take it, and that would be extremely slow and boring for you guys. But not to mention, it would put us in a position very, very quickly where we are not experiencing a challenge anymore. And I don't want that. Like, a lot of games, especially these type of tactical games, and I've had this criticism of XCOM and other games, is like when you reach a certain point in the mid to late game, everything starts to become easy, and then you start to snowball, and then everything gets wrapped up very quickly. You end up speeding to the finish line. I am actively trying to avoid that by putting challenge into the game where there normally isn't any. That's why I went with the hardest start. That's why I've gone with like lower payouts, lower experience gains, more parts to build mechs. Like, I have engineered this campaign to be a challenge from start to finish because I want an experience that feels fun all the way through, instead of, oh, well, we hit the mid game, now it's time to just steamroll until we get bored. Hey, listen, Bolo. As the guy who's sitting on the nuke every time we go into combat, I don't want to hear you talking about bad decisions. Don't forget, that Davy Crockett is right between your legs every time we go into combat. But yeah, let's sell a couple of these. Let's... as much as I want to build a dervish, but I don't know if we're gonna run into one, is my problem. We've so rarely run into dervish. Dervishes? Dervishai? What's the plural of dervish? I don't know. But we so rarely run into them. Like, it feels weird. I guess I could sell the Whitworth. If we sold the Whitworth, how much do we get for that? Almost 1 million C-bills for selling the Whitworth. But we could also leverage that Whitworth into another lance down the line. So I'll hang on to it for now. And I don't think we're going to run into Hollanders anytime soon. So if I sell both of these parts, that's going to be another 687k. We'll go ahead and sell them. Alright. So that brings us up to 4.4 million C-bills. I think we'll go with that, yeah. I think the plural of dervish is still dervish. Maybe. But I think I like Bolo's assessment. We're gonna call a dervish group a murder of dervishes. Or a murder of dervish. I don't know. These are the real questions. These are the real questions. Well, good to see you. Welcome to the stream on a Saturday. Hopefully your weekend is going well so far. Ah, oh, right, the heresy, the Hunchback heresy. Now that more of the regulars are showing up. So, what we have done is we have removed the hunch from this hunchback. There are no ballistics, there is no artillery, there is nothing. We have removed the hunch. And what I have done instead, and again, I know that I have said that I don't like energy weapons that use ammunition, but what we have done is stick a 275 in this thing with a supercharger to make it fast, and we put plasma rifles in it. It's got 2 plasma rifles. So if you don't know what a plasma rifle is, if you're not familiar with it, well, that's odd. Let's try that again. Sorry, we had a little mech lab bug there. If you're not familiar with a plasma rifle, it is an energy weapon that uses ammunition. It does 50 damage, does stability damage, has a high heat, but it also does heat damage. So it's basically like a PPC and a flamer and an autocannon all in one. The best part is, the ammo is not volatile, so even if we put it in the feet and it gets hit, it doesn't blow up. So we've got 20 shots, which gives us 10 full volleys, and these have been exceptionally effective. They also have a very good long range. They're from 0 meters to 600, so we've got good range on these puppies. This thing we put into a duel earlier in the stream, and it went well enough. It's definitely not a 1v1 mech, but it can hold its own. So this is the Hunchback Heresy, and we have called it the Baby Back Heretic. Baby back because there is no hunch. It is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It goes against everything that a hunchback stands for. But you know what? That's what we do here. That is what we do here. And if you don't like a hunchback with no hunch, then you need to go find another company to work for, mister. That's all I got to say about that. I did also change the paint job on it because, again, when I saw this one, it has the 00 numbers and it says bigger, faster, stronger. So, it's as close as we're gonna get to a Daft Punk song. So yeah, that's our Hunchback Heresy. And now that we have 4.4 million C-bills, let's head back to the store because there's some new toys we want to buy. First and foremost, did somebody say Rommel? Because I heard Rommel. And that's what we're going to buy, number 1. And I'm looking at this. It says unlimited. We could buy more than 1. I'm not going to, but it's very, very tempting. Imagine for just a moment. Imagine for just a moment. If we bought 2 of these. Yeah, this is the Mark II. This is definitely the better one. So we could buy as many of these as we want. We could potentially buy 4, maybe even 5 of these. And that would fill out all of our vehicle slots. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I will buy 1 for now.
New battle mechs available.
So we'll buy 1 for now. The other thing that I saw that I liked was we have a Chaparral, which is an Aero 4 boat. But I think it's tracked. It's not hover. Let me double check. Yeah, it's tracked propulsion, but it's an Aero 4 boat. So giving us more long-range artillery that we can field cheaply, to me, is a good thing. But there's also the Dakota, the air transport that we can use for most of our battle armor needs. I've been saying that we're going to buy one of these for a while, and we haven't done it. So because we have this money, I'm going to spend the 250k, and we are going to buy 1 of these Dakota VTOLs. Mara, good to see you. Glad you could join us for the Saturday stream. Hope you're doing well today. So yeah, the Chaparral, again, I like it, but we also already have Bolo and the Hollander with the Aero 4, so while I would like to bring another artillery vehicle, we already have the Ballista, which is a sniper artillery. We have Gravel Lion and their Mortar Panther, which is another indirect fire weapon. We have the Hollander, the Artillery Hollander, which is sporting the Aero 4. So that gives us 3 artillery pieces already for our lance. So while I like the idea of spending almost 1 million C-bills on a chaparral, I don't see a need for it at the moment. If we were ready to field a second full lance, then I might consider it as a support vehicle for that lance, but for right now, I think I'd rather spend the money on other things, like potentially another Rommel. Additionally, there are some weapon systems that we were looking at here, so where is it? You know what? Let's filter by category. Because this is the other thing that we found. Rotary Gauss rifle. Just gonna let that sink in for the folks that weren't here when we first ran across this. So, again, 1.4 million C-bills. That's fair, Graphaliant. A Gauss rifle that can jam. That is a concern. I'm curious, though, what type of ammunition it uses. Does it just use regular Gauss ammunition? Because I'm not gonna lie, we have a ballistic panther. And I'm not against the idea of sticking this thing in it, even if we have to strip it down to 0 armor. Now, if you're looking closely enough, you've also noticed this little toy, which is another thing that we've been keeping our eyes out for some time. I mean, technically we wanted a Rack 5, but a Rack 2 can definitely put out some damage as well. So, this shop rollover in Solaris has been very fortuitous for us. So the thing about the rotary Gauss rifle, and you guys might be able to head to the YouTubes or the wiki and tell me, I'm curious what type of ammo it uses before, again, I don't want to drop 1.4 million C-bills on this thing, only to find out that we don't have the ammo to use it. So my curiosity is, does it use regular Gauss ammo? And if not, what do we actually need? Because we have regular Gauss ammo, and we even have some in the hold, I believe. But if it says, you know, like it has 8 shots per Gauss ammo, does that mean that we shoot the rotary Gauss 8 times? Like, I'm not 100% sure how this works. There's a trio of barrels that cycle when fired like the cylinder of a revolver. This allows up to 3 shots in one pull of the trigger, though at a fairly high risk of jamming the weapon's rotation mechanism due to its clunky innards. Okay, so this is a jury-rigged Gauss rifle. This is effectively a redneck Gauss rifle. This is just put more barrels on it, effectively. It looks like, anyway. Yeah, it's a bubbled up Gauss. So I think it's perfect for this company. It's definitely in keeping with the theme. But it's very, very expensive. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it to you guys, as I do. So we can do one of 2 major things. I don't want to spend all of our money after just having spent all this. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let me bring up the browser here. I'm gonna head over to the Twitch machine, and I'm gonna give you guys a poll. So basically, I'm gonna give you guys a choice between either another Rommel, we could buy a second Rommel, which is almost 1 million, or we can buy the rotary Gauss. Let me see. Let's go to the stream manager, because I still don't know how to do polls with a command. So we'll do a new poll. All right, there you go. If you don't see the poll, refresh and it should pop up. I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair. We could pass. But I didn't put that in there. Actually, you know what? I'll give you guys, I will give you guys the option. Sorry about that. Because I didn't think about that. There is the possibility that we just buy nothing. I want to see what you guys think. There we go. Try it again. I gave you the option to select nothing at all. Just in case you want to do the boring thing and not spend money on goofy shit. But yeah, from what I'm seeing, it does use regular Gauss ammo, which we should be good on. Again, get your votes in. You got 2 minutes to decide. In the meantime, we do have some other options. Again, we have an LBX2. I think I want to buy this rack 2, even though I don't know if we even have any ammo for it. Let me see. Do we have any rack 2 ammo? I know that we bought some rack ammo. I just don't remember if it was rack 2. Let's see. Now it was rack 5. That is unfortunate. So even if we bought the rack 2, we wouldn't have any ammo for it. Hi, Rex. Good to see you. I'm glad you could show up. Sorry about your bad night's sleep, but hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and we'll see you next time. Don't know when that'll be, given my current situation and circumstances, but we will be back for sure. So until next time, have a good one, Rex, and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Alright. Poll's almost up. But yeah, I was thinking about buying the rack, but unfortunately, without any ammo for it, that's a lot of money to spend on a weapon system we won't be able to use right away. Alright, the people have spoken. The people have spoken, and the answer is we go with the Bubba Gauss. We're going with the rotary Gauss rifle. It's the more expensive of the two options, but if I'm being honest, I'm a little more partial to this one too myself. Let's see. Let's see what the full results were. So the Rommel was a close second. That's fair. And again, it's two very awesome choices, so it's hard to decide. Alright, well, I said I was gonna buy the Bubba Gauss. We're gonna buy the Bubba Gauss, and I'm gonna see if we can fit it in the Panther. If not, we may be able to put it in the Centurion instead. Oh, you know what? Because it was so close, and I know I spoil you guys too much. Fuck it, let's buy another Rommel too.
New battle max available.
There you go. Everybody gets what they want. And now we're down to 1.2 million again, but that's okay. We can bounce back from that. We just hit a new month, so we got 30 days to make as much money as possible. Alright, let's see. Can we? And I know that we've been using Graveline, who was formerly Whiplash. Alright, Bolo. Well, sorry you have to work on a weekend, but hopefully it goes well for you. But, I know we've been using our buddy Whiplash / Graveline for mortar support because he has high tactics. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, see, you missed the part where I said this, Bolo, but, I said this before, like, I'm pretty slow on the uptake, so sometimes people say stuff and I have no idea what you mean. So, yeah. Feel free to let me know when I'm an idiot. But I'm interested to see if we can put the rotary gas in this thing. That would be just the dumbest thing ever. Also, where the F is my rotary gas? Oh, here we go. So, if we ditch the mortars, BattleTech, BattleTech, BattleTech. BattleTech's being dumb. It's not letting me remove stuff. I think this is that bug with the battle armor. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try saving and reloading, and hopefully that will fix it. Well, first of all, we'll just try exiting the mech bay and going back in. Maybe that will fix it. If it doesn't, I'll try reloading. Because I know the mech bay is a little weird. There we go. Okay, now we can get this stuff out of here. Or can we? Get out, get out, get out. Damn it. I can't get this ammo out of here. Hope, remove it. Chat, what do? I can't remove the mortar ammo. I guess we're gonna have to reload. Hopefully that will fix the problem. So I apologize. Bear with me for just a moment. It is gonna take a minute to reload. Yeah, I don't want to strip the mech completely because then I have to go back in and put all that stuff in. I would rather that the mech bay just work the way it's supposed to. If I can do that by just reloading the game, then I think it's a small price to pay. Again, as we already know, the battle armor, while a fun addition, does kind of screw up the mech bay sometimes, so... just one of the quirks of playing BTA. Oh, right, shit. I forgot to thank Bolo, I just remembered, for gifting a sub to Cosmic Clarity. So again, Cosmic Clarity, welcome to the cult of bad decisions, bad tactical decisions. I meant to do that, but I was in the middle of a rant when you gifted the sub, and then I completely forgot about it, so apologies, Bolo. But thank you for the generosity, as always. Out here hooking the people up, making sure that everybody's got their little badge. You don't have to do that, by the way. Nobody feel like you have to donate subs or anything like that. I absolutely appreciate it, but it's not a requirement. Old age and treachery always overcomes youth and enthusiasm. As someone who is currently in the middle of a job search in real life, I 100% agree with that sentiment. And Dark Sarah, thank you for the 100 bits. Good to see you as well. I feel like I haven't seen you in chat yet, so if you just got here, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the bits. As always, you don't have to do it, but we appreciate that you do. Hey, right, let's head to the mech bay, and hopefully it's working better this time. Come on, mech bay. Work with me here. Okay, there we go. Everything's working as intended. Outstanding. Yeah? Oh, shit. Fenosi, not only paying forward the gift sub that they got from Kailania, but gifting 5 subs to the channel. Again, thank you so much, Fenosi. You do not have to do that, but we absolutely appreciate it when you do. Thank you very much. I recognize most of the names on there as folks that have passed through at least one time. So if you're here in the chat now, be sure to thank Fenosi for the gift sub. Again, it is absolutely appreciated. Thank you for supporting me and the stream. And the community, of course. So now let's have a look at our our massive overreach, our financial overreach here, and say, a rotary Gauss rifle. How do we fit a rotary Gauss rifle into a Panther? Well, the first thing we can do is remove heat sinks, because we're not going to need them with a Gauss rifle. So that'll give us a little bit of tonnage. Oh no, it won't, because those are the free heat sinks that we have to put in because of the engine. So what does the engine normally run? This is a 140, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, if we go into the internals and we downgrade to the baseline 140, we're still not quite there. This is going to be a tough one, I think. We could potentially use an XL engine, but I don't think we have one. We'd have to, we would have to go buy one. I think they had one on the shop, but that's 500k, and we just spent a lot of money. Well, let's see. Let's put in what we need to have first. So we know we're going to be able to fire 3 shots at a time. Oh, shit. We only had light Gauss ammo. Alright, well, we would probably put, like, 2 tons of ammo in this thing, at least. So we're gonna have to beat 39 tons. We could strip armor, but at a certain point, that's not gonna be feasible. We could go with the engine. We may need to salvage an XL, so I don't think the Panther's really gonna work out in that regard. As much as I would love to put a rotary Gauss on a Panther, I just don't think we have the equipment to feasibly do that, but that's okay, because we do have a Centurion with a ballistic hardpoint that we could put it on instead. We may have to rearrange things a little bit, because the LBX-10 is quite a bit lighter, by about 4 tons. Well, first of all, let's solve the other problem before we get too deep into the mech lab heresy, and let's go buy some Gauss ammo. So let's go to the ammo, and we want the Gauss ammo, and what do you know? There's 2 bins for sale.
New equipment available.
Alright, back to the mech bay. I don't think that the Grasshopper does. We're currently using it, like you say, as a disco ball, but yeah, it doesn't have any ballistic hardpoints, unfortunately. You are correct, Brayden. You get 8 shots, and with the rotary, we're able to fire up to 3 shots per turn. So if we put in 2 tons of ammo, that will give us basically 5 full shots of 3 rounds apiece. Or we can fire it singly. I definitely wouldn't be firing the rotary Gauss on full auto. I would probably take single shots, unless we found ourselves in an ideal position, like, for example, if somebody shuts down or gets knocked down. That's like the perfect opportunity to unload a full auto salvo of Gauss into them. So it's a nice thing to have, but I probably wouldn't be using it every single turn just to conserve ammo. What the hell am I doing? I'm losing my mind. I'm getting sidetracked here. Alright, so first things first, we'll ditch the autocannon and the LBX-10. We'll get rid of the ammo as well. And then, honestly, because this thing's running Ferro and Endosteel, I don't know if we're going to have enough room in this thing for the rotary Gauss. No, we can fit it in there. And I said get rid of the LBX-10 ammo, dammit. So then we want to put the Gauss ammo in. So we've got ammo, and then let's see what we're dealing with. We are dealing with 4 tons that we need to lose on this guy in order to get the rotary Gauss on the field. Now, the rotary Gauss being what it is, it's not going to give us a whole lot of close-range firepower. It does have a minimum range as well of 60 meters. So while we could potentially mount it on the Centurion, it doesn't feel like that's where it should go. We could lose the ER medium laser, which is going to decrease our alpha firepower a little bit. But we're effectively turning a brawler into a sniper. And I don't like that either. I think we can make it work. We're just going to have to figure out how to do it. As we would have to ditch the BA handholds. That'll give us a little more weight to play with. So now we've only got to lose 2.5 tons. We could even downgrade the missiles from MMLs to like an LRM launcher instead. So let's see, with the MMLs, we got a 3-tonner and a 1.5-tonner. If we went with, say, LRMs, because at this point it's going to be a long range, we could drop the core as well. That's another option. We could get an LRM-10 in there for less tonnage, right? So no, actually, the LRM-10 is going to weigh more than that, so we're not saving any tonnage by doing that. We could save half a ton if we ditch the MMLs and we put in LRM-5s. That still gives us the same volume of fire, but we gain a half a ton. We ditch the SRM acid ammo because we don't need that anymore. And then maybe just drop 1 ton of armor? Or yeah, we could drop the core down just a little bit. What engine cores do we have available? Yeah, unfortunately, we have used up most of our larger engine cores. Does it normally run a 250? No, it normally runs a 300. So yeah, at that point, we're effectively taking one of our brawlers and turning it into a sniper. And we already have a lot of long-range firepower. I'm willing to give it a shot. Literally and figuratively. Plus, if we give it the mobility of a 300 engine, that's going to give it the ability to reposition and take advantage of really good shots. We could also lose a little armor as well. Again, it's not a huge deal. If this is going to be a long-range platform, we don't need as much armor. We could do that too. Although, at this stage, the problem with trying to turn the Panther into a brawler at this stage in the game is we really should be getting away from light weapon platforms unless they bring something crazy to the table, like a Gauss rifle. Because at this point, a lot of the mechs that we're going to be facing are going to be able to shred light mechs, especially a Panther, which isn't very fast by default. So that's my reluctance to doing something like that. Let me think. I mean, we can make this work and then just see how it plays out. Again, it's not ideal, but I think there's something to be said for keeping the 300 engine in it, because that continues to give us a great deal of mobility. 10 hexes on a sprint. So having a sniper that can easily reposition to take advantage of shots is going to be a good thing for us. Yeah, I think we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. We will see what we can do with it. So I'm gonna drop some armor here. I don't know if we'll be able to drop an entire ton of armor off of the left side. I would like to, but I don't think we can. Let's see. We'll drop the armor down. I really don't like that though, because again, we are potentially risking that weapon system if we take a lot of damage. Alright, Stuart. Good to see you. Glad you could join us. Glad you could join the cult today. Hopefully your work goes well. If you don't catch the streams, the VODs are always live for 7 days on Twitch. And of course, you can always catch these a little delayed on the YouTubes as well. So what are we thinking about this, chat? This is going to take our brawler and turn it into a long-range sniper. But that's not the end of the world. We'll just have to play a little smarter. We do still have the Saturday Night Fever, our grasshopper that can get stuck in. So we have options. Uh-oh, that's not good, Typhoon. Let's see, just out of curiosity, if we put in the 245, what does that drop our movement down to? Actually, that's still not bad. That's still 5 hexes on a walk and 8 on a sprint with a 245. So that's not the worst thing in the world. Like, a 300 engine is good. But I still like the idea of being able to take advantage of exposed enemies with a very fast and agile mech. I think we try it out. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work. And we can go back to the drawing board. So we'll go ahead and confirm.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
And while we were busy looking at things, I had another idea. Since we have a sniper artillery and we have an arrow 4, I have considered, instead of using a mortar, because we have one, we could potentially throw a light Gauss in this thing. Now, the problem with that is we're going to lose some tonnage here because the 2 mortars are only 8 tons in total, and we have no other weapon systems on this thing. So, I was thinking the light Gauss might work, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that because we're already right at the weight limit. Well, that's weird, Typhoon. Why? I'm trying to think of why your monitor would be malfunctioning in dark mode, but then be okay in light mode. That's a strange glitch to have. But yeah, let's see. I'm not super happy with that Centurion loadout, but again, we can fine-tune it. Alright, what do we got? Medical research opportunity. During the morning briefing, Darius has a proposal. Commander, the Solaris 7 system is renowned for its research facilities. Spoiler alert, no it isn't. It also happens that Ozark has a background in medical supplies industry. If we could spare her for a while, we could source us some advanced medical supplies without stretching our usual budget. I mean, I think this is just going to be a medtech boost, a temporary medtech boost. I don't want to give her up for a month because she's our designated marksman, but I think we can send her for a week and see what happens. Darius nods and arranges to send Ozark to the planet for a week of networking among the medical supplies vendors. Soon, the fruits of her labors begin to arrive, boosting the short-term effectiveness of the medbay with samples of cutting-edge medicines from the Solaris 7 system's best labs. Later in the week, Darius delivers an update. Ozark has done all that she could in such a short time frame. I was honestly hoping for a bit more, but it will have to do. So she's going to be unavailable for 7 days, and we're going to get a 1 med point boost for 14. Jason, good to see you. Glad you could join us for another stream. Hopefully your weekend's going well. So we're going to be out our designated marksman for about a week, which is fine because we're going to have to spend some time waiting for the Centurion anyway. So it's not the end of the world. We'll wait 3 more days, and now we're good to go. So first and foremost, let's head to the vehicle bay. And we do have both of our Rommels. We also have the LTV. We have our Dakota for the battle armor. So I think the issue we're going to be running into now is we don't have enough pilots for all these machines, which is a good problem to have. The question is, our boy Game Master has been putting in work with this AC-20 for a long time. He's gotten very accustomed to it. He's very, very good with that AC-20. But we're gonna have to make sacrifices in terms of what we field on our vehicles. And I think the Hetzer has to go. The Rommel has more armor by a pretty significant margin. And I think giving him a Rommel Mark II would be a beautiful upgrade for the man. He has proved his worth, and giving him a more accurate and more powerful weapon system is a good fit, I think. I think I would like to field both Rommels. The problem is I want to keep the ballista because it's good to have the artillery platform. And I want to keep the LTV as a scout. However, if we replace the LTV with the Dakota, then the Dakota can potentially be our scout and drop off our battle armor. I just don't know how quickly this thing is going to get shredded in combat. So I'm thinking our vehicle composition. Well, that's good. It's good, Vroom. We're glad you could join us, even if you lurk. That's fine, and I'm glad that you could get some enjoyment out of the streams. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, is to entertain myself and entertain you guys too. So it makes me happy to know that I am succeeding on at least one of those things. So hopefully your work goes well. Again, I apologize, and I feel for anybody that does have to work the weekend. That shit's rough. But what I'm thinking that we do in terms of vehicle composition is we keep the ballista, we field both Rommels, and then we use the Dakota as our scout. Because the Dakota can run in, dump off the battle armor in the middle of the enemy, and then hopefully do some scouting in the meantime. We'll have to see how it goes. Yeah, but we got some new toys to play with. Last but not least, because I know we've been sitting here in the Argo for, 45 minutes at this point. Let's do the last thing that we need to do, which is level up our people. So Bigfoot, you're not able to level up yet. Bolo, finally leveling up a little bit, so I think, honestly, because you're doing mostly indirect fire, I think we're going to keep pumping tactics.
Training complete.
Awaiting orders.
We got Brick, who's our Treb. Again, I feel like I want to save up. We're almost to that last level of gunnery, so I think we do that.
Ready for orders.
Carrick is another one of our indirect fire people. She's quite a ways off from the next level of tactics, so I think what we'll do is go ahead and pump her up to 5 guts, and then we can focus on her more specific skills.
Yeah, Commander.
We got Floppy, who again is just slowly gaining passive experience from the training modules. Game Master has finally attained greatness. He has now reached the final stage of gunnery. So we have Stone Cold, supercharge your cooling system, gaining heat dissipation at the cost of responsiveness. Your initiative is reduced. I don't think that's very relevant for a Rommel. And that's for a mech warrior anyway, I think. So we have overwhelming aggression. I can words. This tank crew is such masters of their tank that they can squeeze extra firepower out of the guns, gaining a 10% flat bonus to damage with every attack. Holy shit. In a Gauss rifle, Rommel, yes please, I will take an additional 10% damage on everything we shoot. You do not have to ask me twice.
Reading you.
We got General Quarters, not ready for that next level of guts just yet.
Confirmed.
Graveline, finally, after so long, has attained the rank of 10 in tactics. The first person in the company to reach level 10 tactics. So let's see. We've got Eagle Eye for a passive 25% boost to sensor sight and all weapon long and max range brackets, plus 2.5% bonus to cold shots. Or we get Command and Control using special onboard Command and Control electronics. There's Lance Master gaining initiative, extra sensor range, and resolve generation. Honestly, I think Eagle Eye is the way to go, because we've already got a Beagle probe on Gravellion's mech, and adding an additional 25% boost to sensors and sight on that is going to make this dude the best scout. Because initiative is nice, but he's already got pretty good initiative anyway. So I think we go with Eagle Eye.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Yes.
Then of course there's me, not ready for the last level of gunnery or guts, so we'll wait on that. Ozark is ready for her next level of tactics, so we'll go ahead and pump that.
Yes, Commander.
Quagmire, feels like we haven't really gotten Quagmire stuck in lately, but she is ready to level up gunnery. Let's see what we get. Perfect armor, artillery master, precision master. Well, that's a good question. Perfect targeting. This tank crew is able to use their increased knowledge of targeting systems to accurately target anything, letting them ignore 2 evasion on all enemies. Precision Master is good. I think perfect targeting is better, because them ignoring 2 evasion pips basically means that Quagmire is just going to be better at hitting things. So that's a good get for me. I mean, Jason, you say that like a clan goss on an aircraft isn't one of the most busted things in the world.
Training complete.
I mean, you're getting the accuracy buff from an elevated position, and it's a Gauss rifle with massive mobility. So, I think all around, that's an outstanding weapon platform.
I've got your back.
Hi, we got Rex, who had to leave the stream, but I think we go with piloting, honestly. Like, there's a part of me that wants to continue to pump gunnery, but at the same time, in a Grasshopper laser boat, accuracy isn't as important. So I think an additional sprint multiplier and base melee chances are going to be good for what we're using the Saturday Night Fever for.
Reporting.
Sparrow, of course, has been out for an extensive period of time. Erst, finally ready for that next level of piloting. Go ahead and do that. And then I think that's it. We got one more person. We got Wolfbanes, who again is just collecting passive XP. We'll go ahead and level him up a little bit. And there we go. Everybody's leveled up. So now, we can go in and have a look at the missions. So the missions have rolled over. It looks like there's not a whole lot in terms of missions, but right away, I already see something that makes my heart happy. A solo duel with a weight limit of 35 tons. This mission was made for Erst. But let's see what else there is. Before we go down that rabbit hole, let's see what else we've got available. We've got a battle in the Badlands, which we could probably handle. I don't think this one would give us any trouble. And then we've got a battle in an urban setting. Not super thrilled about urban maps. Again, it kind of tanks the game performance. Well, I think we have to do the duel, don't we? Let's see who we're up against. So we're up against the Draconis Combine in this duel. So we could potentially get 1 pick and 5 randos, or we could go for 840k. I think after all the money we just spent, we go for the 840, because 1 pick plus 5 parts is... It could get us a mech. In theory. If we play our cards right and we get lucky with our shots, we could potentially get full salvage on this mech. Because there's only going to be one. It's a solo duel, so there's only going to be one mech. But is anything in the 35-ton weight class really going to be worth giving up 800,000 C-bills? Because I think the answer to that question is no. So I think we go for max cash. And, of course, I'll have to save the Lance comp again. Now that we've readjusted everything. And we gotta ditch everybody. Once again. That's the one thing I don't like. And chat, you guys might be able to help me with this. Is there a way to clear your entire selection? Like, can I clear my whole Lance with the push of a button? Or is this one of those things where, like, you just have to do what I'm doing and move it all manually? Because if there's not a button for that, there really should be. Yeah, well, I also have a dream that the streaming platform run by the most profitable company on the planet Earth could, you know, invest in better servers and better connectivity and things like that, but unfortunately, that's not how rich people think. Let's see, if we go to load... Oh, okay, I see. Got it. Well, that would have been nice to know before I did everything the hard way, but I will try to remember that for last time. Or next time, not last time. Yeah, so 35 tons. Obviously, the answer to this question is Ersts and the Disco Inferno. Are we having some compression issues? Let me see. I can check it on my end and make sure it's not a problem on my side, but again, with it being a Saturday, it's probably a Twitch issue. Yeah, it's probably not my fault, Walla, but I'm gonna check anyway, just in case. Let me have a look. Yeah, nah, it's definitely gotta be Twitch. I'm not having any issues on my side, so that is unfortunate. I apologize. Unfortunately, Jeff Bezos doesn't answer my calls anymore, so not a whole lot I can do about that. But what I can do is get us stuck into this duel. Yeah, well, it's kind of a pain in the ass, too, because there are so many more people streaming these days, and, like, the connections are under load so much more every day, and again, you would think that the most profitable company in the history of mankind would be able to afford the infrastructure to solve some of those problems. Well, they can afford it, they just refuse to spend the money on it. Yes, I did. I found out many streams ago, actually, about the careful movement. We've only had to use it a couple of times since then. But yeah, if you're still mostly familiar with the YouTube series, I only just recently found out about that in the YouTube series. So I know it was frustrating for some people because they're like, oh my god, just use careful movements. Like, yeah, I know that now. I didn't then. Let's see. Teach a life lesson. That's an interesting way to put go in here and kill this dude. Alright. Erst is our gladiator. Let's see how he does in a one-on-one light mech duel. Knock him about and then finish things up. His dad will be happier than he'll be. Is that right? I bet you he's gonna be really unhappy if we kill the dude. Alright, well, again, we can cover a lot of ground, but I'm not just gonna charge forward. I will move... actually, you know what? Screw it. There's only one dude. I'll reserve down to one. What the hell was that? Did he? What the hell is that? Alright.
Thy will be done.
Well, I wish I knew what we were up against, so we'll just have to keep some cover, get a visual on this dude, and then see what we're dealing with. So another fire starter. He is running flamers, MGs, and medium lasers. So basically your standard H configuration, it looks like. Alright, well, we can definitely handle that. If it isn't some goofball config that I've never run into before, I think we'll be fine. Oh, look at Mr. Fancy Pants using his jump jets. Well, I can do that too. Why there, Cody. Glad you could stop in, even if it was just for a minute. Glad to see you. Hopefully work goes well. Again, condolences to those that have to work on the weekend. I may be joining those ranks before too long. Let's see, if we sprint, we can absolutely get in behind this guy. Can we actually shoot him in the process, though? I don't think we can. Dang it. Alright. Well, shit. Like, I'm trying to find the perfect pixel here where we can get in behind this guy and shoot him, but it doesn't... The powers do not appear to want to allow that to happen. So what I will do instead is... I mean, if this guy's arrogant, then I'm gonna let him make his own mistakes. We'll fall back into some cover and let him come to us. Let him make the mistake of getting into the ideal position for us.
Hey, let's slip the dogs of war.
Alright. Now. We are close enough to melee, but we can only charge, which is fun. But we really maximize damage when we melee and fire. So I will hold F, and what we'll do instead is I'm going to move over here. And we'll see if we can break line of sight. Now we chant, and we'd be feeding him our rear armor, which I also don't want to do. I wish there was a way to crouch the mech. So we'll just do this. Again, I'm gonna see if we can coax this dude into a more ideal engagement, and then we are literally going to pounce on him.
Damn,
Oh, you have made a huge mistake, my friend. Alright. So now we get a side shot. We're gonna give him the full alpha chat. You know what time it is. Oh, that's always fun. Well, hopefully the department doesn't completely collapse. And I certainly don't like night shifts, so I can relate to that. I've worked more than a few. But Chad, it's time for the full alpha. Here we go. Giving it to him right in the side torso.
Firing all weapons.
And again, this is the improved Disco Inferno with improved binary lasers and ER smalls. So yeah, he's gonna hit us in the back. But we can play this game all day.
Damn, let's do this.
I agree, Erst. Hot damn, let's do this. So which side did we hit him in? We hit him in the right side, so I think that's the exact side we're gonna hit him in again. So we're gonna run up. We're gonna hit him in the right side. We're gonna give him the old kick, and shit, what time is it? Full fucking alpha time.
Onward.
So there's the kick. Here's the volley. And all of those went internal. There goes on leg. My man is taking a dirt nap. Well, I guess he's taking a swim in a shallow pool. And I think that's it for our boy. Oh, no. Because of the initiative phase, he's able to get up, but he's not going to be able to do much more than that.
They're flanking.
Or so I say. Alright, I see you.
It's on now. I live to serve.
Thankfully, we're in water, so the flame is not going to hurt us nearly as much as it normally would. And we will go ahead and focus again. Hit him in the right side. Give him the business. We're going to come close to the shutdown, but I say we chance it. Full alpha. Full send. So there we go.
Folks, let's get this done. The
Took out the right torso. Here comes the shots. And he ejected. There we go. And that, boys and girls, is the beauty, the absolute beauty of the Disco Inferno when it's in its weight class.
Mission successful.
You love to see it. And as I said before, that is why I'm keeping the Disco Inferno in spite of it being a light mech, and it's part of the reason that I'm still letting Urs do that. He is going to be our go-to light mech gladiator, I think, going forward. And when I can, I do intend to give him a little more melee firepower on this mech. Eventually. We just have to get to a point where I can actually do that. So of course, Draconis is going to be a little unhappy with us, which, you know, fuck them. That's what they get for trying to throw down. And there you go. 1500 experience for Urs. No mech parts, unfortunately, but we got an engine core, machine gun, flamer. I think we just sell it all. Increase our monetary value, so that should get us over 1 million C-bills on this contract, which can't complain about that. Definitely can't complain about 1 million C-bills on a duel. Yeah, that's true, General Quarters. The Combine's always mad at someone or something. If it's not Steiner, it's Comstar. If it's not Comstar, it's mercenaries. If it's not mercenaries, it's their own people. They're always mad.